This reading is for Stephanie. Stephanie, thank you so much for choosing me to do your reading today. So let's jump right into it. The first card that I've pulled for you is talking a little bit about your current situation. So I do have this sense of anxiety from you. I feel like you're in this position where you have a lot of uncertainty with things. There's some things that they just don't make sense to you. So what I want you to do right now is take some time to really feel into situations. So not use your logical thinking as much, but your intuition. You know, I don't want you to constantly be overanalyzing things, constantly thinking about what does this mean, what does that mean. I want you to feel into them. How do these things feel for you? And I think that's going to help you, because right now I do feel like you are projecting a lot of fear. This is based on things that have happened in your past. There's a lot of emotions that you had pushed down that are bubbling back up for you. Some things kind of feel familiar. They feel like they've happened before and you're worried they're going to have the same outcome. So I want you to really work on feeling into things and not thinking about things that happened previously happening again. I need you to let go of that. There is something new. There's something beginning for you. Or it is about to begin, because this is what's kicking this all up for you. I feel like you're stepping into something, while familiar, it's still unknown, and you have these fears about what that's going to bring. I know that feels really scary. It feels really scary. So change can feel really scary, but what change does is it allows us the opportunity to trust the universe and trust that the universe has our best interest at heart. So sometimes we have to let the scary things play out, and they turn out not to be as bad as what we think they're going to be. This opportunity, this situation, it's going to help you in your personal growth, like all lessons that we go through. So I want you to take this chance. I want you to let it play out. I want you to just see what happens. This next card we're going to talk about, basically it's just, again, you know consciously that you need to surrender to this. Some of this is inevitable. Some of this just has to happen. You have to have this experience. So despite whatever reservations that you have, I need you to kind of release those old ideas, release those old fears that are holding you back. Those things don't serve you. I feel like you've luckily kind of been given this brief period to pause. And during this pause, this is where a lot of this overthinking has happened. But the blessing in this pause is the fact that you didn't have to jump right into it. You did have some time to kind of get some perspective. And I want you to work on, during this, having some new perspective about it, some new thoughts about it that aren't based on the past. Now, this card right here, this card is talking about things that you might be unaware of. You might not realize just how much you don't feel ready and how much you don't feel comfortable with this new opportunity. And it is because you have a lot of unrealistic expectations. You are the type of person that has a certain standard. The only way that the situation is going to fail for you, and the only thing that you need to be worried about, is that you have these standards, and because you have these standards, you have put things way out of reach. You have these ideas, these expectations that are way out of reach for yourself, and not only for yourself, but for others. And as long as you keep that bar so high, that's the only opportunity for failure to occur. Now, in your recent past, you were having some challenges. You were having some setbacks with things. And this had to do with money. It also probably had to do with employment of some kind. I think they were kind of hand in hand with this. You did have to kind of reevaluate things. You had to reevaluate your position and kind of choose a course of action that gave you the ability to kind of regain your sense of security again, because this kind of left you a little wobbly and it kind of knocked your self-worth down a peg when this happens. Now going into your near future, as far as your near future goes, I feel like you are going to be more attentive about your finances because of what has happened. You are going to be saving more. You're going to be budgeting more, budgeting better. You need to continue to be sure not to spend more than what you are earning and what you are bringing in. You did have a period of time where you had a decent income coming in. This happened. I feel like now you're at this point where you're going to be needing to budget more. But I do feel like there is, again, at the end of the year, going into the new year, a time where your finances pick back up. But I want you through the holiday season. I want you to be very conservative. And it's not just for the financial purpose of it. You have this need to have a sense of control over your life, and being able to have some control over your finances, I feel like is going to give you that sense of security that you're desperately seeking with things. So this card right here is in the position of advice for you. I do feel like now is the perfect time for you to open up your heart again. I feel like you need to be experiencing all the opportunities. And I feel like there are opportunities there for you right now, but fear is holding you back. And this is including loving connections. There are some available to you right now, but again, I feel like your standard, your bar may be slightly too high because of the fear of your past to let people in. But it's not necessarily just with love. You know, there's friendship, family. I want you to give yourself permission. I want you to give yourself permission to open up your heart to other people, and give love and receive unconditional love in return. I feel like that's very important for you to hear this message right now. As far as people in your circle right now, there is some new connection that has begun with someone. And this is going to be somebody very significant who's in things for the long term. They are going to have influence in your life. So they're going to be a helper. They're going to be helping you with your goals, your long-term dream. They're going to be a support person in that and give you advice in that. So I want you to really open up your heart to allow this person to be there and to be in the situation for you. And as far as your fears go, so you fear having that partnership. As much as you hope to have that kind of support, you have such a thick wall and you are not easy to let people in. So you fear having a partnership as much as you idolize it and embrace it, if that makes sense. You need someone who can lighten the load. You hope for someone who can lighten the load, but your need for control causes a fear as far as that goes. And then with my last card, this is just kind of taking a quick peek into the further future and advice as far as that goes. And what I really want for you, Stephanie, is to listen to your heart. Trust that intuition. You know what situations serve you. And if you ever start to doubt that, I want you to not, again, use your logical mind. I want you to use your intuition and go by how they feel. How does this feel to Stephanie? I want you to stop letting your thoughts kind of drift you away from things, because your thoughts take you from one thing to the other, and you're not really staying in one place or one idea or with one person, the interest in one person for very long, because your fears kind of drag you back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and your overthinking is dragging you all over. I want you to have that stability and control that you're desiring. And the way for you to get that is to kind of rein those thoughts back in. So I want you to ask yourself, whenever you're thinking about anything, does this make Stephanie happy? Does this align with Stephanie's goals? And if so, I want you to pursue it and not stay focused on the what ifs. And what if this happens? And what if that happens? Or what if they're like this? Or what if this is like how it was before? I want you to let go of those fears and learn to let energy flow and let the universe take care of you. Trust the universe. Trust that everything is always working out for you. I hope you enjoyed your reading. Love you lots. Take care. I hope to hear from you soon. And if you get a minute and you'd like to leave a review, that would be fine. Bye-bye.